The war was finally over. Earth had survived. For 5 long years, humanity fought against the Threx, a brutal alien species that believed humans were too weak to exist. The war left cities in ruins, countries broken, and billions grieving, but the humans did not break. They pushed back, tooth and nail, until the Threx retreated into the darkness of space. When the last Threx ship was destroyed above Mars, the world cheered. Finally, peace. Finally, a chance to rebuild, but peace didn't last long. Exactly 1 week after the war ended, a new alien race arrived. They came without weapons, without threats. Their ships were sleek, silver, and glowing with strange light. They hovered above Earth like silent gods. They called themselves the Zarn Empire, where the Threx were beasts. The Zarn were calm and smooth. They spoke with perfect English, smiling politely through holograms. They introduced themselves as observers of lesser races. According to them, Earth's victory against the Threx was surprising. "We watched," one Zarn said. "We expected you to die. You did not. That is interesting." They claimed they had no interest in war. They only wanted to honor Earth with a gift, a reward for surviving something impossible, and then they gave it. It wasn't a weapon, not really. It looked like a toy, something a child might find in a cereal box. It was the size of a football, smooth like glass, glowing faint purple. No buttons, no screen, no wires, just a strange symbol carved across the center, constantly shifting. The Zarn handed it over in front of the United Nations. Cameras were rolling. People clapped, laughed, even made memes about it. "Alien fidget spinner," one man joked, but not everyone laughed. Colonel Rika Thorne watched from the shadows, her arms folded, eyes sharp. She had commanded Earth's last space fleet. She saw her people die in orbit. She didn't trust gifts. Not now. When asked what it was, the Zarn smiled. "It's a weapon," they said, "if you can figure out how it works." And then they left. No threats, no explanation, just vanished back into space. The joke weapon, as it was soon called, was moved to a secure vault under Area 12, a top-secret military base in Greenland. Scientists from all over the world were brought in. Nobody could make it work. Dr. Ellen Rowe, one of Earth's best physicists, scanned the object for hours. "No radiation," she said. "No mechanical parts. It's like it's ... waiting." "For what?" Rika asked her. "I don't know," Ellen whispered. "Maybe ... us." 1 week passed. Then something strange happened. The object began to glow brighter. It started humming softly at first, then louder every day. People said they could hear it even outside the vault. Then, on day 9, Dr. Ellen Rowe disappeared. Security footage showed her entering the vault at 2:13 a.m. alone. Smiling, she never came out. Inside the vault they found nothing. No signs of struggle. No blood. Just the object, now glowing pure white. Rika stood in the vault and stared at it. "Turn the cameras off," she ordered. The room emptied. The lights dimmed. Rika stepped forward. "You killed her?" she asked softly. Nothing happened. She raised her voice. "You're not a joke, are you?" A single pulse of light flashed from the object. It wasn't random. It was a response. Back in the command center, Earth's satellites picked up something new. A signal teeny fast, and nearly invisible, had been sent from the object. It traveled faster than light. The signal didn't go to the Zarn. It didn't even stay in the galaxy. It shot out toward deep, black space, somewhere no telescope had ever seen. Rika leaned over the map. Her heart pounded. "Where did it go?" she asked. The AI answered coldly. "Unknown system, 212,000 light-years beyond edge of known universe. Who lives there?" She whispered. "Silence." Rika turned to the world leaders. "We were wrong," she said. "This wasn't a gift. It was a trigger." Panic spread behind closed doors. Some wanted to destroy the object. Others wanted to use it. Theories spread. Was it a beacon, a key, a bomb? Only Rika stayed calm. "Move it," she ordered. "Not to a lab, to a ship." They placed the object on board the ISV Hawkeye, Earth's newest deep space vessel. Rika led a team of soldiers, scientists, and linguists. Their mission: follow the signal, find the truth. Ellen Rowe's files were recovered. In her final note, she wrote, "It's not a weapon for war. It's a test, a message, and maybe a curse." The journey took 6 days at FTL speed. They reached the dead system. No sun, no planets, just cold, ancient silence. Then they found it, a floating structure, big as Earth, black like coal, covered in carvings older than any known species. They entered. The walls shimmered like water. The gravity shifted, time slowed. Inside, they found a single recording, a voice old and full of sadness. "To the ones who hold the key, We are sorry, we made it to destroy tyrants. It chooses, it judges, and it cannot be stopped. Once it activates, it ends empires. It cannot be used twice. But the team stood frozen. Rika whispered, "It's not a weapon, it's a death sentence." She turned to the object. It floated now, spinning faster, and then the ship's alarm blared. Unknown vessels approaching. The AI shouted, "Zaan Empire, ships 10 no 20 ... inbound." Back on Earth, chaos erupted. The Zaan had returned. Their fleet was massive, 10 times larger than any force before. They were no longer smiling. They sent one message: return the object, or be destroyed. No one replied. In space, above the dead world, Rika held the object in her hands. It had stopped spinning now. It glowed red. "We activate it now," said Dr. Malik. "No," Rika said firmly. "Not yet. But they're coming." She looked at the stars. "Let them." The object, no longer a toy now, pulsed with red light like a beating heart. Colonel Rika Thorne stood on the bridge of the ISV Hawkeye, her arms crossed, eyes locked on the viewscreen. 20 massive Zaan warships were closing in. Their formation was tight, precise. They didn't come to talk. They came to take distance to Zaan fleet. She asked. 7 million kilometers and closing fast, replied Lieutenant Darrell. They'll be within firing range in 20 minutes. Rika turned to Dr. Malik, who stood behind a transparent force field. The object floated in front of him, humming softly. "Any change?" Dr. Malik shook his head, still reacting to proximity. "It's like it knows they're here." The room fell silent. Back on Earth, world leaders were panicking. President Alina Merrick of the Earth Union addressed the Emergency Council. "We have 2 choices," she said. "Return the object or prepare for war." General Wu slammed his hand on the table. "We can't return it. We don't know what it'll do. It might activate the moment they touch it." Others agreed. "They gave it to us like a joke," said Ambassador Levin. "Now they want it back because they finally understand what it is." But Marek wasn't convinced. What if they always knew? What if this was their plan? No one had an answer on the Hawkeye. Things grew worse. Systems started to fail one by one. "We're losing secondary power," said Darrell, shields flickering. "Weapons offline for 6 seconds every 2 minutes. Rika frowned. "Is it sabotage?" Dr. Malik looked up from his tablet. "No, it's the object. It's disrupting our systems, but only ours." "What?" "It's scanning us, learning, deciding what?" she asked. He didn't answer. Just then, the object pulsed again, brighter than before. This time, the lights on the ship flickered. The gravity shifted, and a new sound filled the ship. Laughter, not human, not machine, alien, ancient. Everyone froze. It's projecting sound now," said Malik from inside the object. The voice spoke in perfect English. "The destroyers return. Shall I act?" Rika stepped forward. "What are you?" "I am what you made me. I end those who take choose." She swallowed. "You choose. What justice?" The Zaan ships sent another message. It appeared across every screen on Earth, and on the Hawkeye, a single sentence. "Return the weapon or be annihilated in 13 minutes. Inside the object's containment room, another strange event occurred. Dr. Malik reached toward it to collect a reading. He stopped. His eyes rolled back. He stood, straight and frozen like a statue. Then he spoke, but not in his voice. "We gave it 2 monkeys in armor. Now the monkeys think they are gods." The team backed away. It wasn't Malik speaking. It was the object using him. The last empire laughed too. "Their worlds are dust." And then Malik collapsed. Heart racing, Rika knelt beside him. "Malik, you are right." He blinked, eyes wide. "With terror it showed me," he gasped. "A planet. No, doesn't turn to ash. The weapon didn't fire, it just judged." He looked straight at Rika, and it decided they should not exist. On Earth, the panic became chaos. Several rogue nations tried to launch missiles at the Hawkeye, demanding the object be destroyed. Earth's defense network stopped them. "Someone's trying to end us before the Zaan do," Marek said bitterly. Appeared on a live feed from the Hawkeye. "No one touches this object," she said to the world. "We follow this through. No panic, no surrender. We have to know what this thing really is." Meanwhile, strange things began happening around the globe. Animals became agitated, especially birds. They flew in spiral patterns above major cities. Electricity flickered in zones untouched by the war. People started hearing voices in their sleep, soft whispers in unknown languages. All began on the same day. The object started pulsing red. A low-level analyst in Berlin decoded part of the object's signal. He sent it to the defense net. It translated the message. "This is not a gift. This is the end of arrogance." Back on the Hawkeye, the Zaan fleet was now within range. They're charging main cannons, said Daryl. Rika stood in front of the containment field. She stared at the object. Why us? She asked. Why give it to humans? The object pulsed, gently now. A soft blue glow this time. You were broken, but you chose to fight, not to rule. The others, chose differently. The fleet, prepared to fire. Suddenly, the object moved. On its own, that it floated through the air, out of the containment zone, through the steel wall as, if the matter didn't exist. It hovered at the center of the bridge. Then, everything stopped. Time froze. Crew members were suspended mid. Lights hung still. Even space outside the window no longer moved. Only Rika could move. A voice, no longer a machine, but warm, almost human, spoke directly to her mind. You have the choice. Do you want them gone? She hesitated. Destroy us. That is what destroyers do. Rika looked outside at the Zan ships. They're not ready for this. No one ever is, she whispered. Will you kill them all? No, I will only end what should not exist. She closed her eyes, then nodded. Time resumed. The object exploded in light, not outward, but inward, like it folded in on itself. For exactly 3.4 seconds, every Zan ship vanished from every radar across the solar system. Then half of them were gone, no wreckage, no fire, just vanished. The remaining ships spiraled out of formation, their power died. Engines dark, weapons cold, inside. The Hawkeye alarms stopped. Systems reset. Everyone stared at the object, now floating gently in its original purple glow. It had returned to its toy-like form, and on every screen, a message appeared. Judgment complete. On Earth, silence fell, then disbelief, then celebration. But Rika didn't celebrate. She turned to Dr. Malik. It only works once, she said. That's what the voice said. He nodded. It chose us this time, but it might not again. She looked at the object and whispered, what did we just become? The galaxy watched in silence. In less than 5 seconds, half the Zan war fleet disappeared without fire, without warning. No explosion, no radiation, no debris, just ... gone. The rest of the ships floated helplessly, powerless and broken. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. People cheered in the streets. Media headlines called it the light of Earth and the human miracle, but not everyone was celebrating. Colonel Rika Thorne stood alone in the observation deck of the ISV Hawkeye, eyes locked on the floating object. It had returned to its original forms, small, purple, silent, too silent. It didn't move. It didn't glow. It didn't pulse. Dr. Malik entered behind her. He had dark circles under his eyes, hands shaking slightly. I ran more tests, he said. Its energy readings are nearly flat, so it's dead, she asked. He shook his head. No, not dead. Sleeping. Rika stared at her. Then we're back where we started, with something we don't understand. Malik nodded. And something that every empire in the galaxy will want now. 3 days later, Earth's orbital sensors picked up something strange, an ancient signal, buried beneath the object's own transmission. A second signal, faint, broken, but still active. It pointed to a location in deep space, far beyond the edge of any known star map. Rika looked at the coordinates and frowned. It's calling us, she said. President Marek approved the mission. The ISV Hawkeye was fueled, supplied, and launched within 12 hours. They were going to find the source. The journey took 6 days at maximum FTL speed. The crew barely slept. The tension was thick. Everyone remembered what the object had done. They arrived in a dead system, no light, no warmth. A cold black star lay at the center. Long dead, orbiting the star was a giant ring structure. It was massive, 10 times bigger than Earth's moon, made of black stone and metal, covered in carvings and symbols. Some of the shapes matched the symbols on the object. The Hawkeye slowed and entered orbit. There's a docking port, said Daryl. Old but functional. Rika gave the order. Suit up. We're going in. The inside of the ring was not like a spaceship or a station. It was a tomb. Walls lined with carvings. Stories told in pictures. Thousands of figures, aliens of different kinds, bowing before a single glowing sphere. Rika's team walked carefully. Lights flickering. The air was cold and dry. They reached a central chamber. There, floating in the center of the room, was a second object identical to the one Earth had. It was dead. No glow, no pulse. Below it was a pedestal with a language that slowly shifted into English as the team watched. The message appeared. This is the first. We built it not to rule but to warn. It destroyed what we could not. Then it slept, waiting, when we forgot what we created. It judged us. Rika stepped forward and placed the Earth object near the pedestal. The moment they touched, both objects glowed. and a voice filled the chamber, not in their ears, but in their minds. You have awakened memory. You seek truth. You will now see. Rika's vision went white. She stood on a world she had never seen yet somehow remembered. It was a beautiful planet. Skies of violet, oceans like gold, cities that floated in the clouds, then war, flashes of light, cries of fear. An empire once noble had become cruel. It ruled by fear. It burned worlds to keep power. A group of rebel scientists and philosophers built the object, a machine, not of destruction, but of judgment, one that would choose who deserved to survive. They unleashed it. It didn't kill with guns. It erased, not just ships but thoughts, memories, entire histories. Empires simply vanished. The builders celebrated. But power always tempts soon. The builders tried to control it, and the object turned on them. It judged them to it, erased the creators. Rika's vision faded. She was back in the chamber, on her knees, breathing hard. Dr. Malik helped her stand. You saw it too, she nodded. We were never supposed to use it, she said quietly. Suddenly, the chamber shook. The ring's systems were waking up. Lights came on. The walls began to hum. An ancient voice echoed from the walls. You have taken the second key. Prepare for return. The Hawkeye raced back to Earth, but something followed them. A ship. Not a ship, a construct, the size of a small moon. It appeared near Jupiter, black, silent, and ancient. Its design matched the ring. Earth's sensors went wild. Every nation went to red alert. But the construct did not attack. Instead, it broadcast a single word, witness. The second object began glowing red, just like before, and then the skies above Earth changed. For a few moments, stars blinked out, then returned. People screamed, but nothing happened. No destruction, no fire, just silence. And a message. It appeared everywhere: phones, walls, clouds, even minds. You have been judged. You are not ready, but you are trying. The Watchers return. The next key will not be merciful. Rika stood before the object again. She looked at Malik. There are more of these. Yes, and the others might not be so kind. He nodded. She stared at Earth through the window. We were given a joke. She touched the object gently, and it ended an empire. 3 weeks had passed since the judgment above Jupiter. People across Earth tried to return to normal, but nothing was normal anymore. Everyone had seen the message. You are not ready, but you are trying. Some felt hope, others feared. It was a warning, and somewhere in deep space, the ones who gave the first gift were coming back. Colonel Rika Thorne stood inside the underground Vault Omega, hidden below the Andes Mountains. The object rested in front of her, and now placed in a secure field surrounded by AI-locked defenses. 2 objects, actually, the original, the one the Zaan gave, and the second, from the dead ring world, both silent, both waiting. Rika watched them. They're connected, said Dr. Malik, stepping beside her. They didn't speak again, she asked. No, since the judgment over Jupiter they've been dormant. Rika crossed her arms. Good, let them sleep. But they both knew nothing stayed quiet for long. At the edge of the solar system, Earth's outpost near Pluto picked up a terrifying signal. Zaan ships, over 100 vessels, led by a new command cruiser 3 times larger than Earth's moon, didn't cloak themselves. They didn't hide. They wanted Earth to see them coming. The Earth Union held an emergency session. President Marek's face was grim. They're angry, she said. We embarrassed them. Worse, we scared them. General Wu looked across the table. We should activate the weapon again. Dr. Malik shook his head. It only works once. You saw what happened last time. The object chose to act, not us. And if it doesn't choose us again, someone asked. Rika finally spoke. Then we die. The Zaan fleet stopped just outside Saturn's orbit. They sent a transmission. No threats, no warnings, just one short message. Send the human who commands the key. They met Rika. She traveled to orbit with a small fleet escort. Her shuttle docked with a massive Zaan diplomacy ship, black, curved, pulsing with strange lights. The Zaan were not smiling this time. They looked different. No longer polite or curious. They looked afraid. Their leader, Supreme Watcher Etzer, wore deep red robes and spoke with a cold voice. You do not understand what you carry, he said. Rika kept calm. Then explain it. Ezzer's eyes narrowed. That thing is not a weapon. It is a destroyer of empires, a curse cast by the dead. We've noticed, Rika replied. You don't control it. You were chosen, but you won't be chosen again. Rika didn't blink. Then why are you here? If you believe we lost control, why not destroy us now? Ezzer's voice lowered. Because we have seen what happens when it awakens fully. placed a black crystal on the table. It lit up with a hologram of a burning planet, screaming skies, cities melting into light. This was our first colony. It judged them, all of them. Gone in seconds. He looked at her. If your species awaken, it again, ... all of us may fall. Rika leaned forward. Then don't give cursed gifts next time. The Zaan made an offer, give them the objects, both of them, and they would leave Earth alone, forever. No war, no punishment, just silence. Rika returned to Earth and met with the Global Council. Some wanted to accept. They'll leave us alone. It's too dangerous to keep. But Rika said no, we didn't ask for this, but we earned it. She looked at the council members. They gave us a joke. We turned it into fear. We showed we could carry it, not perfectly but with respect. And if we give it back now, we show them we're afraid. The Zaan did not wait for Earth's answer. They launched their attack. 30 ships moved past Saturn, heading straight for Earth's orbit. The sky above the planet turned dark. The Earth defense network activated its full strength, and railguns, ion cannons, drone swarms. The human fleet rose to meet the enemy, but they were still outnumbered. The battle began. Ships exploded in silence. Plasma bolts lit up the void. Human soldiers screamed over comms. Rika watched from the command center as 3 destroyers were lost in the first 10 minutes. We won't hold them, said Admiral Ray. Not this time. Then the object awoke, not with light, but with ... sound. Every speaker on Earth, every radio, every phone, every ear heard the same 3 words. They returned first. The object lifted into the air. The second object followed. They merged. One sphere, now white-hot and spinning faster than anything Earth had ever seen. The clouds above Earth split open. No rain, no thunder, just silence. Then a beam of light fired straight into space. It pierced the Zaan fleet. Ships didn't explode, they froze. Inside them, the crew turned to salt. Steel rusted instantly. Electronics melted. In exactly 10 seconds, the attack fleet was gone. The remaining Zaan ships fled. The Supreme Watcher tried to send a final message. But before his words could reach Earth, his ship folded in on itself like paper, and vanished. Across the galaxy, a new message appeared. Broadcast on every known channel, in every known language. Not from Earth. Not from the Zaan, from the object. This was the second. Judgment continues. All who rule must remember, power is not right. Rika stood in the vault again. The object had returned, floating quietly, glowing soft blue. Dr. Malik looked at her, pale and shaking. It spoke to everyone, Rika. Every race, every empire. She nodded slowly. It's not just judging our enemies anymore, he whispered. It's judging everyone. On a distant world, a council of warlords gathered. They watched the footage in silence. One leaned forward. Humans were weak, he growled. Now they carry the galaxy's last curse. Another stood. We must take it. A third shook his head. No, we must warn others. And far above them, something watched, something old, something waiting. Earth was quiet. After the second Zaan invasion was erased from space, no ships dared approach. No messages came, no warnings, just silence. But Earth was no longer celebrating. People were afraid not of the Zaan, not of aliens, but of the object. News channels ran non-stop headlines. Who controls it? Is it listening to us? What if it judges us next? The object now, a merged sphere of white light, floated calmly inside Vault Omega, far underground. It didn't move, it didn't pulse. It simply existed. And yet, every leader, soldier, and citizen on Earth felt the same thing. Like it was watching. Colonel Rika Thorne had stopped sleeping. She stood alone in the dark vault chamber, eyes fixed on the sphere. Dr. Malik entered behind her, carrying new scan results. No radiation, no gravity warping, no temperature change. It's stable, stable, Rika repeated softly. That word doesn't mean what it used to. He looked at her. It hasn't done anything for 2 weeks. It's thinking, she said. He didn't argue. Rika had been right every time so far. Then something happened. Not in space. On Earth, in a secret facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. A rogue faction of Earth's defense forces tried to copy the object. They had taken pieces of alien tech left from the Threx War. They tried to create a replica. They called it the Ecosphere. It looked similar, but it was lifeless. Until they powered it at first. The fake sphere just glowed. Then it screamed. Everyone in the room died instantly. Blood from their ears. Minds shattered. The original object awoke. Every screen on Earth turned blue. A voice spoke, not loud, but clear. They tried to make what they could not understand. They will not do it again. In less than a second, the underwater base disappeared. Not exploded. Not sunk. Just ... erased. The water Above it didn't even ripple. World leaders panicked again. Some wanted to bury the object. Others wanted to launch it into the sun. Rika refused both. It's not a weapon, she said. It's not a toy. It's a mind, a judge. If we try to hide it or trick a tittle-turn on us. President Marek asked the question everyone feared. What happens the next time it chooses? Rika's answer was quiet. Then we'll see who's worthy. Meanwhile, far from Earth, deep in a forgotten part of space, a ship drifted silently. A Zarn exiled General Kozad survived the second attack. He now hid inside a hollow asteroid, building something, a cannon. Not an energy weapon, not a plasma torpedo. He was building a gravity spira weapon designed to crush planets from afar. Let them hide behind judgment, he snarled. Let them pray to their false protector. He activated the weapon's first test and the asteroid shook. On Earth, the object felt it. Rika felt it too. She woke in the middle of the night, heart racing. It wasn't fear, it was anger. Object moved. On its own. It rose from the containment field, turned toward the sky and pulsed once, and a beam thin and invisible fired into deep space. No announcement, no warning. 10 seconds later, every observatory on Earth saw the same thing. An asteroid, moving fast, glowing bright, then gone, nothing left. The object returned to its place and dimmed. Malik whispered, "It hunted someone." Rika nodded, "And it didn't ask for permission." The galaxy began to whisper again. Alien civilizations who once saw humans as weak now avoided their systems. Merchants stopped passing near Earth. 2 neighboring star nations began strengthening their own fleets, terrified that they might be next. But something else began too. Across space, followers appeared. Aliens, humans, even AI, all drawn to the object. They called it the Judge of Stars. Some came to worship it, others came to study it. But one thing was now clear. It had acted without a threat. It had made a choice. It had used its power for the first time to protect humanity without being asked. In Vault, Omega, Rika stood with a new visitor, a high-ranking diplomat from the Quillari Alliance, a peaceful alien race of crystal-bodied beings. He spoke with a soft voice that sounded like wind chimes. "You are now guardians of something beyond ancient," he said. "Do you understand what that means?" Rika looked at the object. "No, but I know it understands us." The Quillari diplomat touched a glowing stone on his chest. "Empires are built on fear. Yours is built on respect. That is rare." He bowed low. Then he left Earth's orbit, never to return. But not all species were ready to bow. Far away, in a part of space untouched by any known empire, a race known as the Vargathi watched Earth with hungry eyes. Warlike, savage, rulers of 3 star clusters, feared across the spiral arm. They sent notes, messages that they sent no threats. They just prepared, because they had their own object, not a sphere, not a judge, but a weapon so old, even the stars feared its name. They called it the Black Echo, and it had just awakened to back on Earth. Rika looked out the window toward the stars. The game just changed, she said. Dr. Malik stepped beside her. "And now we're in the middle of it." Rika nodded slowly. "We used it once and now they're coming to test us again." She turned to the object, glowing faint blue. "Let's see what happens next." The stars were no longer calm since the object used its power without warning, erasing the rogue Zarn base, destroying General Koz's asteroid lab. Everything in the galaxy had changed. Across thousands of systems, alien rulers met in panic. Some called emergency war councils. Others began hiding fleets, deleting records, purging scientists who studied old galactic weapons. One truth was spreading like fire. The humans weren't in control of the Judge, but it still chose them, and no one could understand why. Inside Vault Omega, deep under the Andes Mountains, Earth's highest-ranking military and science officers gathered around a large screen. On it, 27 alien races were shown. All had reached out to Earth since the last activation. Dr. Malik pointed to a glowing red mark near the center. "This one is new, Vargathi Empire. They were silent before. Now, they've moved a battle group into a neighboring system." General Wu leaned forward. "Is it a threat?" Malik hesitated. "It's worse. They single quotes re. Curious. The Vargathi were monsters of old. 10 feet tall, armored like tanks, bred in war. No diplomacy, no mercy. They didn't believe in peace, only strength. And they had ruled unchallenged for over 900 years. Until now, in the Grand War Hall of the Vargathi capital, Emperor Koresh stood beside a floating relic, the Black Echo. It was not alive, but it pulsed slowly like it was breathing. His war priests bowed in silence. The humans carry something older than any weapon. The Emperor growled. They did not make it, yet it serves them. A general stepped forward. Should we strike now? No, Kurash said. We will test them first, quietly. He raised a long claw toward the stars. Find the edge of their patience. Back on Earth, a strange event occurred in the deserts of northern Africa. 3 satellites crashed at once. No warning, no explosions, just failure. An Earth patrol found strange metal fragments buried in the sand. Alien alloys, not Zaan, not Threx, something new. Spy probes, Malik said. Vargathi design. Likely. Rika didn't blink. They're trying to see how close they can get. That night, the object pulsed again. But this time, it did something new. It moved, not floating, flying. The sphere blasted through the walls of Vault Omega like they weren't there. No alarms triggered. No defenses fired. It rose high into the sky and vanished into orbit. Panic swept Earth's command centers. Where did it go? Who sent it? Was it leaving Earth? Then came the message. Not a warning, not a threat, just a whisper, heard in the mind of every sentient being within 5,000 light-years. This is your final patience. We do not punish the weak, we erase the proud. Stop watching. Vargathi didn't listen. They saw the message as weakness, cowards warn. Warriors strike. So they prepared a stealth attack. Small fleet, fast ships. 1. Goal. Destroy Earth's lunar base without being seen. Send a message that the judge was blind to quiet destruction. But they were wrong. Before the Vargathi fleet even reached Earth's moon, space around them folded. Not fire. Not light. Folded. Like the stars themselves turned away when the fold ended. The ships were gone. Nothing left. No signal, no metal, no memory. Back on Earth, the object returned. It hovered above Earth's atmosphere. For 23 hours every country stared up at the sky. No one dared speak against it now. No orders were given. No meetings held. The world simply watched and waited. Then, just like before, it spoke. But not through sound. Through dreams. Billions of people saw the same vision. A burning throne. A silent galaxy. A child holding a small, glowing sphere, just like the judge. And a voice. Power is not yours to take, only to protect. Be worthy, or be forgotten. In the following days, alien embassies sent offers of peace. Thousands of species pledged cooperation. They called Earth's object the final judge. Some offered artifacts, others sent their own gifts in fear. But Rika knew the truth. It's not here to help us, she said to Malik. It's here to watch us. Inside the Earth Council chamber, arguments exploded. One group wanted to use the object to build a galactic empire. Everyone's afraid of us now, one general said. Let's use that. Another group wanted to send the object away. It's too dangerous, said a world leader. What if it turns on us? Rika stood. It's not a weapon, she said again. It's a mirror. It shows us who we really are. And if we try to rule because we have it, she paused, it will erase us too. Silence. No one argued. Because deep down they all knew she was right. Far away, a small fleet of unknown ships passed the ruins of the first Zaan colony, scanned the area. One pilot whispered, they were gods. Another replied, no, they were proud. And a third spoke what many had begun to fear. If Earth has become the home of the judge, then the galaxy has only one future. The crew fell silent, because they knew what came next. Vault Omega was quieter than usual. No alarms, no soldiers, no new orders. The object, now simply called the Judge by all, floated silently above a magnetic cradle, glowing with a soft white light. It hadn't spoken since the last message. Be worthy or be forgotten. But its silence didn't feel like rest, it felt like a test. Colonel Rika Thorne walked slowly around the containment room, watching it carefully. Dr. Malik entered, holding a report. We found something, he said. Rika turned. From where? Deep scan of the second ring, the one we found the second object on. He placed a small disk on the table. A projection appeared, a strange alien structure, half buried inside the ring's walls. A vault within a vault. What is it? She asked. Malik's voice was quiet. A memory core. The core had been built by the same race that first made the object, an ancient civilization long erased by time. The projection shifted. Now, a being appeared. Humanoid but tall and glowing, made of light, not flesh. Its voice was distant, old, and sorrowful. We were once called the Haru Dai. We ruled not by war, but by wisdom. We created the Judge as a final answer. A weapon that could not be commanded, only respected. It was not meant to destroy, but to correct what even we, failed its test. The image flickered. It judged us. We vanished. We leave it now to those who come next. To you. Rika and Malik stood in stunned silence. It judged its own creators. Malik whispered. Rika nodded slowly. That's why it doesn't speak often. That's why it acts without asking. She looked up at the sphere. It decides everything. Over Earth, strange things began to happen. People who had once touched the object even briefly began having visions. Some saw stars collapsing, others saw children playing with tiny versions of the object, and some saw Earth itself, burned and silent. The visions were always brief, but they left behind the same feeling, a warning. Then the object moved again, not far, just a few feet. But this time, something new happened. It created a ripple in reality. Time slowed around it. A bird flying outside the vault window suddenly froze mid-air. Malik stared at the readings, its folding space, and time. Rika narrowed her eyes. Why? 1 hour later, Earth received a transmission. But not from a ship, from inside a black hole. That was impossible, but it was real. A voice cracked deep. Ancient spoke for words. We remember the judge, the source. A ship thought lost 2,000 years ago, swallowed by the Caldari Rift, a black hole too powerful for anything to escape. Yet somehow the voice had returned. The object pulsed gently. Rika felt a word in her mind. Return. Earth launched a special mission, Project Memory. A single ship, shielded by tech, powered by the object itself, was sent toward the black hole. Rika led the mission. Malik joined her. They entered the Caldari Rift, and everything changed. They expected darkness. Instead, they found a glowing sphere larger than Earth's moon floating deep within the void. It was made of crystal and memory. Inside it, time moved slowly. Thousands of ships floated. They're not dead, but paused. Among them, the lost Harudai vessel, and on it, something waited. Rika's shuttle docked with the Harudai ship. She walked slowly through halls untouched for millennia. At the center, she found a being made of energy. Silently, it looked at her and then spoke. We failed. But the judge waits for the one who asks the right question. Rika frowned. What question? The being smiled. Not how to use it. But why? Rika closed her eyes and asked, softly, why did you make something no one can control? The being replied, because control is the first lie of empire. Only the humble can hold power without being consumed. Then the being faded, and the ship dissolved into light. The Hawkeye returned to Earth carrying something new, not tech, not weapons, but knowledge. The object accepted the memory core, and then for the first time it opened. It didn't explode, it didn't fire. It bloomed like a flower of energy. Inside, it was a code not for war, not for defense, but a map, a path to something far greater, a place hidden beyond known space, named only once in the object's voice. The cradle. Dr. Malik stared at the map. It's where it was born. Rika's voice was calm, or where it truly ends. The galaxy watched in silence. Some prepared fleets, some hid, some sent prayers, but Earth prepared a question, and the judge waited, ready to answer it. The map glowed like a living star, projected from the opened judge sphere. It showed a region beyond any known galaxy, past the edge of mapped space, a place marked by no stars, no empires. Only one word blinked above it, the cradle. Colonel Rika Thorne stood aboard the ISV Horizon, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. Behind her, the now dormant judge floated in its containment chamber, silent and waiting. Dr. Malik, standing at the console, adjusted the course. No FTL lanes, no reference stars. If this place exists, it's outside space as we understand it. Rika nodded. Then we'll go beyond understanding. The journey began. The Horizon used special drives powered by the judge's energy, slipping through dark folds in space. The stars faded, light bent, even time itself felt slower. And then they arrived. There was no sun, no planets, just a single structure floating in the void, larger than Jupiter, shaped like a spiral, glowing faintly with colors the human eye barely recognized. The cradle. As they approached, the judge activated itself. It floated freely, guiding the ship toward an entry point. No defenses fired, no alarms triggered. The cradle welcomed them. Inside was not a machine. It was a garden, floating rivers, stone bridges, sky filled with shimmering light, not from stars, but from memories. Statues of alien races stood in silence, not rulers, not warriors, thinkers, listeners, judges. Rika and Malik stepped out onto soft grass. Gravity felt normal. Air smelled of rain. And at the center of it all stood a simple, glowing pedestal. The judge flew toward it, and rested upon it, then without warning it spoke, not in minds, not through devices, but in the air itself. This is where we began. This is where they chose to end. You have come not with pride, but with purpose. You may now know the truth. The world around them shifted. The cradle revealed its memory. They saw the birth of the Haradai, the first race to travel beyond stars. Peaceful, curious, wise. But over time, they saw the universe grow cruel. Empires rose through blood, power became currency, and so they made the judge not as a weapon, but as a mirror. A mind that would see clearly, beyond fear and desire. One that would protect life by ending arrogance. But the Haradai made one mistake. They thought they would never be judged. They were. The judge erased them, leaving only the cradle and the story, waiting for someone better, someone humble enough to ask why, instead of how. Rika collapsed to her knees as the vision faded. She wasn't crying, but she was changed. Dr. Malik whispered, "It didn't choose us for strength or intelligence." Rika stood slowly. "It chose us because we were broken, and still trying." The pedestal shimmered, and something rose from it, not another judge, but a cedar glowing, pulsing orb of raw memory and energy. It floated too. Rika and gently touched her chest. A warm light spread through her dot, and then she understood. This was the final gift. Not a weapon, not a curse, but the ability to judge themselves, to choose wisely, to grow, to remember what power really meant. The cradle began to dim. The garden faded, and the pedestal spoke one last time. "Go now. Be not rulers, be guardians, or be forgotten." The horizon returned home. The seed was placed beside the original judge in Vault Omega. But Earth had changed. Not just its place in the galaxy, but its understanding. The galaxy had changed too. The Vargathi surrendered their expansion. The Zan dissolved their war council. And across hundreds of systems, species once planning conquest, instead began sending questions to Earth. Not demands, not threats, questions. Because now they knew. Earth didn't carry a weapon. It carried a mirror. And it had been found worthy. Colonel Rika Thorne returned to the mountains one last time. She stood outside Vault Omega, watching the stars. Dr. Malik stepped beside her. "What now?" he asked. She smiled. "Now we protect. We remember, we listen." "And if the next empire rises?" he asked. Rika looked toward the horizon. "Then the galaxy will already have its answer." Inside the vault, the two objects pulsed together. Soft, warm, silent, watching, waiting, judging.